of Shrinking Podcast. I'm your host, Erin Shrinking, and I am so excited to continue on with this awesome series that we're doing called Seasons. And I have a super awesome, special, amazing guest with me today, and her name is Lisa Belanger, and she has been in the tribe for a hot minute and is our special guest today. So Lisa, thank you so much for being here today. Will you take a few minutes and introduce yourself and how long have you been in the tribe and whatever you want to share with everyone?
Hi, like Erin said, I'm Lisa, and Erin, you're so super sweet with all your comments about me. I have been in the tribe since last January. The reason I joined the tribe is I have always been on these fad diets. Since right after college, I had gained the freshman 15 in college, and then the freshman 15 sophomore year, and junior year, and senior year. So as soon as I was done with college, I'm like, I have all the time in my life. Like I want to get fit. So at that point in time, it was trying every fad diet I could do. Anything you can think of, I have probably tried all the crazy things, restrictive, not restrictive. And I realized nothing worked because I would just crave the food. I crave what I wanted. And then it's like, there goes the diet. Or I would be doing it good for a while and then like I would mess up and just be done with it. I would give up. And I'm like, this is not working. So probably about after I had my kids, again, I had gained more weight after having my kids and I wanted to start losing the weight. I knew I was done having kids. I wanted to be healthy. I wanted to be the best self because I want to be able to keep up with my kids. My whole goal is always like, I want to outlast them. I want to be able to run faster. I want to carry them if I need to. I want to like have more energy than them. That was always my goal. And I want to teach them. Like I was never taught these healthy habits. And like when I was growing up, my mom's idea of a healthy habit was a huge salad with tons of salad dressing. Like that is not a diet. So I needed to sit and learn how to do this. And so the first thing I did was start working out. So I got on a really great routine with working out. I was going to the gym, loving it, found a huge group of friends that were super supportive that encouraged me to go to the gym because we would go together. After that, like at that point in time, I started exercising. Like I would eat like crap all the time, hoping that I could just work out the bad eating. And it wasn't working. The pounds were not dropping. Finally, like I started eating healthier and then dropping, but fall into these parts where it was the holidays and I was gaining 10 pounds over Thanksgiving and Christmas because all of my favorite foods were there. Everything I wanted to eat was there and I would just eat. And it's like I was on this healthy living, eating, but it's like I would let myself binge. And so right after that, I'm like, I'm going to try this shrinking tribe. Like my mindset is not there. And that's how I am where I am now. Was this joining the tribe, getting my mindset correct, knowing if I mess up that I can start again. I can start again that day. I can start again 5 minutes later and just be like, I've done it, put it off to the side and start it. Like get back on the rail. The other thing I wanted to when I was looking for something, I don't want restriction. I want to be able to eat my chocolate. I want to eat and just figure out like in moderation how I can eat it, how I can include it into my lifestyle, but not eliminate it because it doesn't work. And yes, there's some foods that I can't have in my house because I will overeat. Again, I just pick myself up and over again.
And it's a process of learning yourself also of like what you know about yourself, where you struggle, and helping yourself set up some good practices and tools and habits of like, I know I can't have this in the house because I will eat all of it. Or I know I can't go to this place right now because it'll cause me to lose control of myself. Like that's just wisdom for us. It doesn't have to be seen as restriction either, and you've done such a good job of walking that balance out since you've been in the tribe with us, of like really learning about yourself and learning how Lisa works, because we know, and a truth that we've both uncovered is that nothing works the same for two people. Nothing does. Not a diet, not a workout program, not a supplement, nothing. Like we are individual. And so our habits and our lives need to be individualized. And it's been really cool watching the depth you've gone to learn about you. Not a lot of people do that. And it's really cool. So I needed to shout you out for that. That's awesome, Lisa. I'm so proud of you. And you are now, I mean, you're just I say you're at goal weight. I know you don't. I know you think that you got some more you need to lose and all that. I think you're in maintenance range and you're just kind of nailing out the end here, is what it really feels like being your coach. But oh my gosh, are you just so proud of yourself for literally, I just want to know, are you just so proud of yourself?
I am. I have maintained my weight for over a year now. That has never happened. I have never life maintained this weight. And, people will be like, oh, you look great. You look great. Like every time I see them, you probably get that all the time too. People are like, you look amazing. And it's like,
yes,
it feels good. But then at the same time, you're like, well, I don't want to hear that. Like, it's kind of like, do you say it? Do you don't? But it makes me think. And I'm like, I've done the work. I feel good. And, you were saying that I don't feel like I would like to lose a couple more pounds or whatever. But actually, the season that I'm in is trying to gain more muscle than losing weight.
Yes.
It is healthy. I had started working with Allie, the dietitian, to start cleaning up my diet. So for a while, my diet was like, oh, a protein bar is fine. As long as I'm hitting my goals, it's fine. But it's like now I am trying to incorporate more fruits and veggies into my day, making sure I'm eating that rainbow of food to get all the nutrition, I can't say it, like everything that I need. Making sure I'm getting outside, getting that vitamin D. So it's like I'm trying really hard. The season that I'm in right now is working hard to get me to be the best me, to get my body in the best shape, and working on that. One of the big things is like I used to work out a lot, like I said, to eat bad so then I could eat bad. And it's like realizing I can't do that. Like I stopped myself at a certain point and I'm like, you need to stop working out. Like you're good for the day. You've gotten your workout. You've done your half hour, your 45 minutes. You're good. Like you don't even have to do more. And you provide us challenges each day to do. And sometimes because I have my own fitness routine, my own workout, it's like, I don't do those extra challenges because I'm like, I don't want to burn myself out.
Yes.
I take little parts, do little goals at a time, because I've also realized in my journey that if I try to do everything at once, if I try to clean up my exercise, clean up my diet, drink all the water, I fail every time. Like like I was saying, with my history of all this, I started small. I started with the working out. I got in a really good routine with that. Then I started the eating, got in a really good routine with that. Now the mindset. So it's like adding little things on each time to make myself the best me. The other thing too that I recently did is I did an allergy test. And that was huge.
Huge and annoying. And annoying, let's be honest. Getting those allergy tests back is like, really? Okay, great.
Most of the food I was eating, I thought was healthy. Everyone told you was standard. Like, these are the things you should eat. I was allergic to all of it. And so I've cleaned that up. I eliminated, even if it was a mild allergy, I eliminated it all for right now to feel the best that I can. And I do. Like, I feel so much better not eating those foods. And I snuck in a little one the other day, like one of the mild ones, and I'm like, my throat got scratchy. It was so weird. I'm like, I have never, if this is how I felt all the time.
Yeah.
And I just didn't realize it.
Yep. Isn't it crazy how much just whole, healthy, happy foods can make us feel so much better? This is such a understated statement that people
Mhm.
just let breeze past them. And I want to encourage everybody to catch it as it flies by. Good, healthy, happy whole foods, friends, will always make you feel better. Always. And sometimes we, like, just like you said, Lisa, we don't realize how crappy we really feel by putting the processed things. And I know you mentioned your bars. Theoretically, those bars, those protein bars, are good for us, right? They're a better choice than the candy bar. We hear all these things are good, but they're still replacing real food. They're still replacing those things. So adding more of the fruits and veggies in, I love that you're doing that for yourself. It's gonna make you feel better. I know anytime I add in the extra whole foods and take away, the popcorn or the sunflower seeds or the things that I enjoy for those little extra things, I always feel better and I'm less bloated, like you said, like scratchy throat. So many people out there are living in just dysfunction in their own bodies by the food that they're eating, and they won't even take the time to like set something up for themselves that can make them feel better, and sometimes it can be as simple as just adding in more fruits and veggies. So I'm proud of you for doing that for yourself, because it's hard. It's hard to get those allergy tests back and be like, oh gosh, like, okay. And the best part is we eliminate, not out of restriction, but to detox the body from it, to bring it back in. And you're working hand in hand with the registered dietitian as you go through it. So I just love that. I love that you're doing all these good things for us, or for yourself, not for us, for you. So we talked a little bit about the season that you're in. So what has been the hardest parts of this season for you as you're figuring out how Lisa works and what Lisa needs and what Lisa's allergic to and what makes her thrive and things like that? What's been the hardest parts about this season for you?
Well, number one, the allergy test came that back, realizing I needed to change my eating, switching that up, trying to find foods that I like again. One of my biggest allergy is eggs.
Mm.
So I was eating eggs probably every single day for breakfast. And so it's now trying to find what I like that isn't that. Another thing is I have actually tasked myself with eating 5 fruits or veggies a day. And we did this challenge at work for April, and I'm like, I'm going to continue this. This is awesome. And so when I'm filling out my day sheet every day, I mark, okay, there's veggie 1, 2, 3, 4, just because I feel so much better. But it's
Yeah,
hard. It's hard to fit 5 veggies in
it
a
is. You
day,
have to
or
be
five
really
fruits or veggies. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be really intentional of, like, just like we do. And I know not everyone watching this is in the shrinking tribe, but every day we send in our day sheets to each other, and it's got on there like what we eat and the amount of water, that we're drinking, our goals and things like that. And yeah, Lisa's been doing this extra 5 every day. And I mean, I'm telling you what, it takes a lot of living with intention to just get your normal day planned and actually execute it. But to add in 5 more fruits and veggies for yourself, like, that's really dang cool, girl. Like, I'm super impressed with you. Not that that matters, but I just want to let you know that.
The other thing, with like kind of the hard part of this season with me is much of my life, it's like, I can do it, I can do it, I can do it. And it's like, for help now. Like, that is a big thing you drill on with mindset, is like, if you need help, ask for help. If you need a break, ask for a break. And it's something I am definitely still working on. I'm not good at this. Because I will be like, I'll talk to my husband and I'll be like, okay, I need a break. But then it's like, I feel bad walking away from them, feel bad from
Yeah.
walking away from him and the kids to go get that break. But that is a huge thing with the mindset and making sure it's full body health.
Yeah.
To be healthy, you need to have the right nutrition, the right mindset, moving your body, all of that. So that is a huge thing too, is making sure I'm taking that time for myself.
Yeah. So good. So the allergy test has been hard. Learning to take your self care has been hard. And now
Yeah.
it's so challenging, especially as mothers. I feel like we both have kids the pretty much the exact same age. You're out there in Wisconsin, which is why you hear her beautiful accent, friends. If you're wondering where she's from, she's from Wisconsin. But yeah, having the kids in the house and being in those child rearing and developing ages and stuff, we can very much just be that mother role and the homemaker role and the keep the everything together role. But it is important and it's not selfish to also have that time for ourselves. And that's a lesson I feel like most of us have to learn the hard way by absolute and complete burnout. You know what I mean? Of like, okay, I'm because we can give so much to other people and especially our children. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I didn't get anything done today. I'm still in my pajamas from this morning. It's like, this needs to change so that we can so much more, effectively and efficiently give of ourselves when we're pouring into ourselves first. And like I said, I know this is a lesson that we both learned the hard way with having the kids in the house, but it is important to take that time for yourself and know that you're worth that time. And it's as selfish as it can feel to take that time to step away and have a little bit of self development time for yourself. It's so crucial. And it's actually our obligation to ourselves and our responsibility to make sure that we're doing that so that we can be more effective in the roles that we're in and have more patience, right? Like I'll tell my kids, I'm like, all right, guys, I'm right here. I got like this much left. Mama needs a timeout. And they know what that means. They know what that means because I've communicated my needs to them. I've let them know mom needs a break. I need 5 minutes of a little bit of quiet, or I tell my husband I need to go outside or I need to go on a walk or whatever to get that time. So, yes, I love that you're speaking up for yourself in that. It's hard to do. And it's going to be probably a battle, especially as the kids go through different seasons of like, gosh, I need to be so present, be so present. But yeah, we got to be present for ourselves though, too. But you're right, though. The mindset is everything. The mindset is everything in it. So, yes, girl. Any other hard parts of this season that you're plowing out of?
No, but when we were talking about self care, the one thing I realized too, for me, self care is working out.
Yeah.
Like it's like that habit stacking.
Yep.
Like I'm working out, but I realize decreases my stress and tons. And it just sets me up for a good day. I actually most mornings, my alarm is set at 4:45 in the morning. I am up and working out right away in the morning so that I am ready to start my day. And it's funny because every Thursday then is my day to kind of sleep in a little bit, to just make sure that I'm getting those 8 hours of sleep because we're busy Wednesday night. And I start work on Thursday and I'm such in a fog because I hadn't worked out for the day. And
Mm,
so I really realized too the big things is self-care. And for me, it's like, well, working out is, and that's my time. And
yeah.
it's funny because sometimes like I'll have to fit it in when the kids are around and I get so annoyed sometimes. I'm like, don't bother me. I'm working out. But then I have to have that too and be like, okay, they can bother me. They're seeing me do this awesome habit. They're like, you work out, I want to work out too. So it's good for me to do it in front of them sometimes. And even if I move for 5 minutes, it's 5 more minutes than not moving.
Yeah.
So it's like I had to overcome that fact of getting annoyed with them at times and being like, okay, they're seeing me do this awesome habit that they should be doing. And
Yeah.
I'm moving my baby. I got something
Yes.
in.
That's so good. And that's such a whole other aspect of it, Lisa, that isn't even talked about is what we're displaying to our kiddos. Like what they see, just like we talk about in coaching. We go all the way back to childhood. Like, okay, what was the dynamic of the family you grew up in? That is also going to be asked to your children at some point in their lives. And our job is to not have our kids need therapy from being raised by us, right? Like
Yes.
getting to the end. So the more healthy habits we can display to them and the more present we can be and intentional with our own lives, because when we're intentional with our own lives, and making sure our own cups are filled, our ability to be able to hold on to more and handle more, it's so much better. Our patience, right? Our grace, all of that. If we're a burnout hot mess all the time, we're snapping at our kids. We don't want them there because we're like, I don't want you. Every mother listening to this understands what I'm saying. However, when we are in control of us, we have more patience, we have more grace, and we have more of that present mindset of like, oh, I'm not just checking something off my list. This is something they can join me in, or I can display really good boundaries to my children of how mommy needs 20 minutes to herself to get this in. And that's also teaching them something really good. So what's really great about kids and all this is like they're learning so much from us, which is also kind of terrifying, but they're learning so much from us. Like, you're showing them getting your movement in, you're showing them drinking your water, you're showing them showing up for others, because Lisa, you're also a coach in Shrinking Tribe. You are actually one of our strongest coaches that we have. And you're helping others on their journey, which is really cool that you're giving back that way. After you going through yours and learning what you've learned, being able to like help other people, like that's the beautiful part of life, is being able to sew it back in. So the fact that we're doing it at home too is so awesome. But yeah, let them join in or kick them out. You can take it as family time or self-care. That's great. That's the great thing about like living and controlling our lives and making sure we're showing up how we need to. Some days they're welcome in, some days you need them to go on with the bad selves.
Yep, and that's how it goes.
Yes. And again, you mentioned habit stacking. That's something we talk about a lot in the Shrinking Tribe. Finding the things that you love to do and then habit stacking them and making them count as things. Like Lisa's movement counts as her self-care. I have people in the tribe that listen to the coaching counted as self-care. They stack their habits so they're not adding more things on their plate. They're stacking them upward so they all count, and it's a beautiful thing, and it gives us more of our life back. So good, so good. So that's the hardest parts. What have you learned most? What lessons have you taken out of this season of your life that you're going to carry with you forever?
One big one is with plateaus. When you feel like you have been, linear for a while, and that's kind of where I was for a little bit at the end of last year. And that's why when you brought on a dietitian, I'd reached out because I'm like, okay, I've been linear, like, but I know there's more I can do. I know that I'm not the healthiest I can be. Like I said, I wasn't eating the healthiest. And so it's like, I want to be able to clean that up a little bit more. I want to go back to those whole foods. So I just wanted to make sure, like, you plateau, something more you can do. It doesn't mean that you have to work out for 10 more minutes. It doesn't, it's like maybe you just have to change a little something to start feeling a little bit better. It could even be sleeping an hour more. Like,
Yep.
You might not just be hitting that self care that you need to, but it's like you just really need to examine where you're at and then see what you can switch a little bit, see what you can switch up to get to be your best self. Another thing too recently is I was doing a lot of cardio for the longest time. And now it's like I switched to strength training. And I always say I'm the strongest that I've been because I'm now doing that strength training instead of cardio. And, it's like I don't 100% love my body, but strong I am. And that's another thing for me too, is like you always think when you're gonna lose the weight that you're gonna be like model. You're gonna look like a model. It's like I don't. I have the flappy skin under the arms, like the belly, because I had kids. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
I have loose skin on my belly because I had two kids. And while I had kids, I ate like, when I was pregnant, I ate like crap. And it's like, it's taken a long time, but it's like, I have to love the body I'm in. And I've worked hard for this body. I've worked really hard for the body. And so I need to be proud of where I'm at. And it's great. Actually, on my home screen, I have pictures show up all the time. And so a lot of them are when I was bigger. And it's like, it's a great reminder too, when these pictures show up, it's like, wow, I have done a lot.
Yes.
And to remind myself, like, I've done this for a year now. Or over a year, I've been
Yeah.
able to do this and I have not given up. I
Mm.
just, I have the bad days. I ate probably a half bag of jelly beans on Sunday. And you know what? That bag was gone. I can't have jelly beans in the house, but once that was gone, back and the next day was just like every day, this rinse and repeat, making those good
Yeah.
decisions.
Definitely. And our tribe motto, it's you don't fail at anything unless you don't learn from it, right? Like
Hmm.
anytime we can because a big part of the journey is going through the plateaus and also finding ourselves back in cycles and patterns that we're trying to break out of, right?
Yes.
So when that happens, like for example, for me, I struggled with food addiction and binge eating, which is where you just eat as much food as you can. It's a tool. Food was comfort and all those things. But breaking out of that mindset took a lot of what looks to most people like failure because I was very often continuing in that lifestyle every once in a while. I would struggle and find myself back there again. And I realized through my several year journey that I was being really unkind to myself. Instead of meeting myself in those places and allowing myself to like heal through it, that's usually in the 8 other weight loss journeys that I have lost weight and gained all my weight back. I did that because of the lack of grace to just start again, or not even start again, but just to learn something from it. Why did I make this choice? What caused me to do this? What caused me to give up my control to food? And what can I learn from this? And then move on. That is such a hard mindset to understand because of diet culture and what everything else is out there. But this is the one of the main reasons why people stop and quit instead of keep going, right? Is because they don't have the grace for themselves that when they make a uh-oh to just, okay, I'm going to learn something from it and I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to take it with me. I'm not going to make myself pay for it. I'm not going to starve myself tomorrow. I'm not going to overwork out to try to burn off the bag of jelly beans. I am just going to sit with my choice, learn something from it, and then not make that choice again to the best of my ability because I know how it makes me feel. Right. And so just that progressive learning of giving yourself grace and meeting yourself where you are, allowing yourself to be a human that's going to mess up sometimes when we get all up in our feels, or we might let go of the control a lot. And it's easy to do in maintenance mode. Oh, honey, it's easy to do. You're pretty much there. I know you don't think you are, but you are. But it's easy to do. Now, here's the truth about maintenance mode. Since you're right there at it, banging on the door, it takes the same amount of effort. It does. It
Oh
takes
yeah.
that wash and repeat. And I hope you learn that. And I hope I do a good job of explaining that truth to you guys of like when you're done, it's not just this like, I've arrived and everything. No, you have to consistently adapt. You have to consistently work on things. There's going to be new levels, right? New levels, new devils is a truth about weight loss journey. Like you get to a new place in it, and that's when we find a plateau or something to work through. This is life. This is life. Learn what we can out of it and be the best people we can and help others along the way. I love that. I love that. So you've learned a
Yes.
lot of good things in this season. What about your mindset as far as when you mess up? How has that changed of you being able to get yourself back on track? Like you were just talking about, like how quick is that turnaround for you?
So it's usually immediately. I feel the shame. I feel the guilt. I'm like, why did I do this? I get so mad. But the thing is up on Sunday, right away on Monday, like I did not feel good. Like the whole day I realized, and all I wanted was sugar, sugar, sugar. And I'm like, why did I put myself through this?
Yeah.
And the lesson I learned is like jelly beans is my trigger. And
Yes.
in the future, like we do not do bags of jelly beans in my house because I cannot. I know, Erin, you're really good at like portioning out. You get 8 of them or whatever, but I am not. I'm
Nope.
not. I've tried. I have no self control. Like we're just not going to get bags of jelly beans in the house. Like
Yep.
maybe we can find some little ones, or if I really want it, I'll buy some and then give the rest away. Like somehow
Yeah.
get them out of the house.
Definitely, definitely. Immediately back
Yes.
on track. How long would it take you, like before, when you were in diet culture mindset days, to like get yourself back on track to where you know it's okay that it happened and I moved on and I'm not making myself pay for it anymore? How long did that take you?
So a lot of times, and I'm kind of working through that right now. I realize I
Hmm.
have this Friday mentality. We weigh in on Fridays. And so on the weekends, I'm like, I can kind of go off track a little bit. And it was actually the last push where I realized that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have Friday mentality. Like I kind of go off. It's nothing horrible. Like not as strict as I was during the week leading up to weigh in. And I'm like, I can't have that mindset. And in the past, that's the thing is like usually I would weigh on Friday because then that whole weekend I could binge and
Mm.
eat what I wanted and then just get back on track on Monday. It
Right.
was so bad. Every single weekend was like that, where it's like, oh, let's go out to eat. Let's eat the crappiest food, whatever. And it's like, then I could lose that weight again, but it's like,
Yeah. Then we're in a
and
fun cycle of losing our weekend fluctuation and battling our chemistry and hormones and all that because the choices we made. So we get in this fun cycle of like, oh, we're working towards Friday, just getting back on track from Friday, Saturday and Sunday, just to get back there. And this is something so many of us do. And here's the truth: no matter what the weigh-in day is or what the data collecting day is, we will still default back to this mentality. It is crazy until we just okay, nope, this isn't a thing. I know I can eat whatever I want. I just need to make a plan for myself and show up for myself in the things I know I need first. But oh my gosh, girl, yeah, and it's not so many have it. I talk to tons and tons of people. I hear this all the time. And a lot of times it's in those diet culture programs where you'd go in, you'd weigh in, and then you'd binge the whole week just to get back to your weigh in. And you're really just, it's not really a journey of health. It's a journey of beating the scale and proving that the scale can go down. We've missed the whole point, right? Like, and that's what so many things make you do, you know. But yeah, Lordy, the weekend food here, we do a free meal. Now, I know a lot of people that watch this might not be in the shrinking tribe, but we have something called Free Meal Friday. And it's sometime over the weekend where we get to work on our relationship with food in a safe way where we get to enjoy, like we need any kind of permission or anything like this to eat something, but we get to in this mindset of how we can get with our food. But this is why we do it, because food can have such control over us that we see good food, bad food. And that's a lie. That's an absolute lie. There's good choices and there's poor choices that support the goals that you have for yourself right now. There's nutrient foods and there's nutrient dense foods. There's no good foods, bad foods. So on Free Meal Friday, we get the opportunity to enjoy maybe a higher calorie meal or a meal we wouldn't usually have when we're trying to lose fat off our bodies and things like that. Working on the relationship with food, of being able to actually enjoy what you're eating without guilting yourself. Be able to say how much of what, which is another big tool we learn in the tribe of you have complete control over what you put in your mouth. Take that control over yourself. That's something we're learning and we're all working on with all of the different disordered eating mindsets that so many of us can carry. I blame diet culture for all of it. I really do. But yeah, so we do that. We do that, but with the goal of it's portions, it's 80/20, it's balanced, more of just working on that relationship with it, with hopefully not needing to binge the weekend or feel that, you know. And but again, we're going to work in and out of those cycles. We're going to find ourselves in weekends where, oh, I really blew it this weekend with what I needed to do. I let my emotions get in here. I got on autopilot a little. I reverted back to some previous software that I had, you know, Aaron 1.0 or whatever. And it happens. It does. But the most important thing is right back on track Monday morning, not giving yourself crap, not shaming yourself, not telling yourself this, that, and the other, because we all do it and we need the grace of that. And yeah, that mentality alone will help you meet your goals. The fact that you can forgive and forget, move on and learn. Such a good skill. Such
And
a good
just
skill.
like also getting that awareness right away.
Yeah.
Like, I am doing this. I need to stop, like, reset myself and get back in line.
Hmm.
Get back to where I was, because all you're going to do is cause this huge disappointment in yourself. So as
Yeah.
soon as like that awareness hits, don't just start back on Monday, start back that afternoon, that day. And everyone makes mistakes, so you just
Yep.
move on, and like you said, you just correct it for next time.
Definitely. And it can feel like we're raising toddlers when we're trying to change these habits in our health. And I tell people a lot of time, like, it's good if you kind of view yourself like you're in some kind of a recovery, because it allows another layer of grace on you of like, okay, I'm recovering from some of these really harmful mindsets I used to have, or really crappy habits that have held me back. Like, I have to remind myself often, like, Erin, you're recovering from this stuff, like food addiction, binge eating, like any of that stuff really messes with us. It really does. And it's a battle that most people can't see, except what the fruit of it is on the outside. The most of the battle takes place in our mind of like, oh, I'm an undisciplined mess. No, you're not. We haven't learned this skill yet. We can master the skill of discipline and be able to tell ourselves how much of what, follow our instructions, and know that we are doing it because we love ourselves and not because we're forcing. And that's the whole point here too, is we're doing it because we love ourselves, not because we hate ourselves. And that's the biggest mindset shift that I want to offer in the Shrinking Tribe, is to help people love themselves to take care of themselves, not hate themselves into loving themselves. Like, we can't, I say it all the time, we can't heal a body we hate. Like, it's impossible. We'll be cursing that forever and ever and ever. So I love that you're embracing your body, of knowing, yes, I have this. Yes, I have this. Yes, I have this, but I'm still amazing and awesome and going to do better for myself. I still can throw my kids over my shoulder and drag them out of the store screaming if they're throwing a fit. Like, I've got mom muscles. I can outrun them. That's what matters. It's not about, like, if you're looking at me, I'm covered in skin still. And again, it's just diet culture of what we're supposed to look like and what this is. No, I've lost 250 pounds. I've had skin removal surgery 6 months out, and I can still pick my body apart if I allow myself to go there in my mind. I can still do it because I'm still got so much skin. How unfair is that? 402-pound Erin would punch me in the face if she knew that I was, like, if she knew I was treating myself this way sometimes. So, but the power of that is in my own mind and reminding myself the truth, just like it is in yours. I'm
Yep.
so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. You're
I was
amazing.
gonna say, in my journey, I've lost over 70 pounds.
Girl. That's
And
incredible.
like I said, this is the first time that I have actually been able to keep it off and sustain it.
Yes. And you're at a year now of like heavily working on this and maintaining. That's what
Mhm.
like I tell y'all all the time. Anyone can lose weight. Anyone can do something crazy for a short period of time and lose a bunch of fat off their body. Maintaining that is all that's going to matter. And that is the absolute truth. And that's why we do the four main things. They're not sexy. They'll never go out of style though. Never. And yeah, so you just keep rolling with that. And that's the truth of
Yeah.
it, of don't let the distractions get in there. Remind yourself, oh, I don't need this nonsense because I can figure this out with nutrition. I can figure this out for myself by tracking my own data. I can figure out what I need most to be able to succeed in this journey, and give yourself the grace of when you hit the plateaus, which we learned in coaching last week. Plateaus are the break after a lot of progress before your next round of progress. So you mentioned plateaus, and I just want to remind you and encourage you that those plateaus are for a purpose. They're for a reason. There's something to learn in them. Sometimes it's just rest, but it's that break between your next round of progress. So let's do that this summer. Let's get that next round of progress for Lisa in this next summer. And you just be the strongest mentally and physically that you can be. And I'm talking over you right now, but I was going to ask you, what's next for Lisa in your next season? I'm just answering it. But what is next for you, Lisa, in your next season, and what's coming for you?
So I have decided just to kind of push myself a little bit more. So um, I have the ability to. So I am being an angel at a race, a 10K race in like 5 weeks. And I'm going to have to run over 6 miles. I have not ran more than 3 miles in how many months? But it's like, I know I can. And I'm going to be
Yes.
pushing a 9-year-old in his wheelchair while during this run. That's what an angel is like you help a child with a disability to be able to run a race. And so I had a
Ugh.
friend of mine reach out wanting, seeing if anyone wanted to help. And I'm like, I can do this. Like, I am strong in myself. I know that I can do it, so let's do it. Like it's a fun challenge for me, and then it's also helping others too. Another thing, I'm signed up this summer for a 10K trail run, so it's running in the
Girl, look at
woods. I
you.
know, like just those little that still challenge me. Like definitely these things will not be easy, but it's like something just setting those goals, those little goals that are fun goals. Like these are two things that I find that are going to be awesome because the boy in the wheelchair, every time I see him, he has the biggest smile when he's doing something he loves. And so I can't wait to be pushing him in this race and seeing his face light up at everyone around him clapping for him. And
Ah, that is
so
so
that's an yes, and then just like trail running, I've done it once before and it was a blast. So I'm like, let's do it again. Let's try this.
That's awesome. In our upper 30s. Like, hey, look at us. Look at girl, that is awesome. I love that. Please take all the pictures or have people take the pictures. That is amazing. And what a gift you're giving to that little boy. Like, you're being his legs. You're being his legs. Oh my God, I could cry. He's going to be able to like go fast for a long period of time. Like, what a connection too you're making with another human being. Like it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I hope you have so much support, people holding up signs and all the things. Oh, if you weren't in Wisconsin, dang it, I would be there with a tutu on, like cheering. I'll be doing it from here anyway. Oh, that is so cool. And a trail run, like pushing yourself. And that's something else we talk about all the time is not letting ourselves plateau, not letting ourselves get stagnant, but staying fresh and putting things in our life like little carrots, some things to look forward to. So we always have something to look forward to, something coming up next, not in a, push yourself as hard as you can, but in a, no, there's just something more I'm building into here. And it's so good. And watching you have that balance has been awesome. It's been awesome. I'm a proud coach for sure. Very proud. Very
Well,
proud.
and the thing with setting those goals is they aren't huge, like a huge jump, but they're
Yeah.
just enough to keep me motivated, to keep me moving, to push myself a little bit more because for me, I can't do anything big. I give up after a while. Like I need to do those little stepping stones to be able to get there. And that's what I said in the beginning. Like first I had to start with the exercise. Once I
Yep.
realized I was plateauing there, it's like I had to look further, food. So you can't do it all at once. It
Nope.
doesn't work. You're gonna burn out, you're gonna be done. And then
Yeah.
you're just gonna give up.
Yeah. And we don't have to give up. Like we don't have to
Mhm.
give up. And one of the, honestly, the biggest tool, I feel like I give it away every time we're on here. The biggest tools we do in the Trinken Tribe, guys, is our nutrition, planning for ourselves, our movement, planning for ourselves, our water, planning for ourselves, and our self care, planning for ourselves. And we do that every day and we live with intention and we stay focused on it in ways that we know we can actually do, not in ways that like are way outside of our means. So you're exactly right. Like meet yourself where you are, not like we can jump into things like get on a weight loss journey or join a program and feel like we have to like step into that role. You know what I mean? Like if you do CrossFit, you got to be there and show up for all the things that you do first day. Heck no, you got to start at the you got to go to that corner over there that they have the newbies start in, get that down, then progress up. It's the same thing in every area of our life when it comes to health. We have a starting point and we have to start there. We can't skip steps. If you skip a step, you're going to find your little tushy right back in the beginning of it until we learn that one. And that's just the truth of it. So building up, consistently, little steps, not big jumps, little things, just keep us feeling fresh, feeling like we're working towards something also. And it's really important for us, especially in our motherhood years, which I guess we'll always be mothers now. But you know what I mean? In our motherhood years, we can so easily lose our own identity, our own focus in caring for other people, right? Especially when we have jobs and things like that. Like it's so important to gift ourselves that time and that grace of I'm gonna still be developing here in the background a little bit too, guys. Like I'm uploading this app. Like, you know what I love that.
Yes.
I love that. So that
Well,
is
and then
so
the
exciting.
other thing, when you're finding those little things to increase, like you got to find the things you love. So the water, find a water cup that you love. Even if you buy 10 billion water cups, like find one that you love that you're going to carry it around with you and drink from it. The workouts, like you need to find one you love. I would go to the gym all the time. Quarantine happened. I tried to replicate what I was doing at the gym and it didn't work. And so I found someone on YouTube, free, completely free. And I love it. I love the routines. I love it. And so it's like you have to try. You have to, if you don't find something you love right away, try something else.
Yes.
There's so many things out there.
Definitely. And it's our job to find those things for ourselves. Like no one's coming to do it for us. No one's coming to save us and fix all the things. We got to do it. We got to find it. And it's out there. That's the best thing. Just like you said, it's out there. Most of it you can get for free. You can find an amazing resource to help you with that. I love that. I love that. So good, Lisa. So good. All right. Well, girl, anything else that you want to say before I let you get off here? Did I hit all your points that you had? I feel like a girl. So good. Oh, good. So good. So good. Awesome. Well, Lisa, thank you so much for joining us for Shrinking Podcast. Girl, this has been so good, so practical. I know it's going to speak to a lot of people out there that are in the very similar seasons of life that you're in, right? And the biggest takeaways I'm getting from your story is the power of taking care of ourselves, learning ourselves, growing from where we are, making sure that you're showing up for yourself every day and giving yourself grace when you human up a little bit. We're calling it humaning up a little bit. So good. Thank you so much for pouring into the tribe and to everyone watching the Shrinking Podcast. I thank you for your time. You are amazing. I have so much love and value for you, sister. I am so grateful to have you on in the tribe with us as a tribe member, but also as an accountability coach. And I know that the girls in your group love your guts. And I just thank you so much for your time and your commitment to helping other people on their journeys. Because it's hard stuff, guys. This is hard stuff. We all have mountains, but we can shrink them together. We can show up for each other. And honestly, I heard a quote a long time ago said, we're all just walking each other home. And that's the truth of it. Like we have a lot of hard things in our life. We don't have to be alone for any of it, right? We have a community here of like-minded people on their journeys, going through the same struggles you are. So if you're looking for a place to be and grow and learn with other people, guys, welcome to the Shrinking Tribe. We'd love to have you. So Lisa, thank you so much, baby. So good to see you every time I get to see you and talk to you. Thank you for being on here tonight and love your guts, girl. Love your guts.
Love your guts too.
Awesome. Thank you.